Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Aimstone channel. I just want to make a quick announcement. This week will be quite exciting week because I have two interviews. Tomorrow I'm going to have an interview with Dan Faber. He is a dentist by practice, and of course he will tell us a story how he got into Bitcoin. And then on Wednesday I'm going to have an interview with Sam Kalahin. He is a lead analyst at Swan. Should be interesting discussion. Alright guys, let's move on and take a look at the Bitcoin market. As we can see, unfortunately, BTC continues to tank, and of course, this is not surprising because, as you know, somebody selling Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is at mid $40,000. Let's see if 40K level will be sustainable or not. If this selling pressure will continue, then maybe BTC will break below 40K. Of course, it did happen on Friday, but then BTC jumped back up to like $42,000, and now we're back to 40K. So let's see what this week will bring us. If we zoom out a bit, take a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, we can notice this is just another correction. Yes, BTC touched 49K, now we're at 40K, so that would be basically 20% drop in just a matter of week or so, which is, yes, quite unfortunate, but we saw number of corrections in 2023. In fact, we saw as much as 3 huge corrections, so this is just another one in 2024. What a great start of the year. I'm pretty sure 2024 will be quite bullish year. Additionally, 200 weeks simple mode average right now is at $30,000 BTC price, 40K, so we still have delta at around $10,000, but of course it's relatively lower comparing to where delta was at almost $20,000, where BTC was at 49K. It is what it is. Volatility, guys. What else you want me to say? Bitcoin fear grid index. Today we are at 55, but we do remain in greed. We slightly lower where we were back yesterday. Yesterday we were at 56, last week 52. So yes, considering the fact that Bitcoin dropped by 20%, I would say we should have been at around neutral. Greed, I think, is a bit overstretched. Alright guys, moving on. People arguing about politics, let me know it's just a waste of time. 100% correct. Do not focus what you cannot change. The politics, we cannot change that, unfortunately. Maybe Bitcoin can. Yes, Bitcoin is probably the only thing that can change politics in a long period of time. Okay, breaking news. Virginia State Senator Saleem's proposed Bitcoin to protect the right to mine Bitcoin self-custody and run a node. Smart man. This guy must be a Bitcoiner. Okay, as we know that couple days ago, payment X has been created, which is of course it means that X will be not converted, but payment methods will be added to X. And now the question is, what payment process the payment X will have? Is it going to be Bitcoin or Doge, or maybe multiple of cryptocurrencies, or maybe this is going to be another PayPal just using fiat? Personally, I think they're probably going to have number of maybe top 5 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and maybe something else. We will find out, I guess. I don't know when, because nobody knows what the hell X is doing. But yes, this is indeed quite news. Let's not forget that Elon Musk actually was a co-founder of PayPal, and then he got bought out from the PayPal and he created Tesla. So yes, this is another revision for Elon Musk. Hopefully it will be successful as PayPal is. So on that news, as we can see that Dogecoin literally, I don't want to say skyrocketed, but it increased by quite a bit. It went up from 7.5 cents all the way to like 9 cents, which would be like 15% increase. But as we can see, it declined in the past couple of days. So I don't know, you want to call it pump and dump? Go ahead and do so. Okay guys, moving to Bitcoin Spot ETFs. Now we have South Korea. South Korean official of the president has urged the regulators to consider approving Bitcoin Spot ETF. Yes, quite exciting news. Yes, we can see that Bitcoin adoption indeed does not sleep. Now we have, well, like probably double digits countries that have Bitcoin Spot ETF approval. Yes, Canada, Brazil, Germany, some other countries in Europe. Now we're going to have South Korea. So yes, this is indeed exciting news. Moving on, Bitcoin Spot ETFs nearly $4 billion in asset under management after 6 days since launching. Yes, it's quite good, but Bitcoin price still remains down, which is just a minor correction, and of course, in maybe next couple of weeks it will be up. Spot Bitcoin ETFs has collectively acquired 95,000 BTC, yes, which would be roughly $4 billion in just 6 trading days, surpassing outflow from Grayscale Bitcoin GBTC. According to Bloomberg analyst Eric Bulchanas, Fidelity and BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust lead inflow with over $1.2 billion each. IBIT BlackRock has slightly edged in asset under management with 1.4 billion compared to FBTC's 1.3 billion. Invesco's ETF had its best day for inflows on Friday, January 19, attracting over 63 million. VanEck ETF also had a strong Friday, pushing its total asset under management beyond 100 million. Meanwhile, Grayscale GBTC saw $590 million in outflow on Friday, putting the total outflow from GBTC to $2.8 billion since it was converted to spot Bitcoin ETF. However, total net flow is a positive $1.2 billion as other spot Bitcoin ETF attracted $4 billion in funds. Yes, so we are so far positive $1.2 billion in net inflows. Yes, so we can see that a Grayscale almost $3 billion left GBTC. We have BlackRock almost $1.5 billion asset under management. Next, Fidelity $1.3 billion asset under management. Bitwise almost 500 mil. And then we have ARK and many others Bitcoin Spot ETF. So yes, so far we have net positive of $1.2 billion, which is indeed quite good. But you may wonder why the hell the price is down if we still have $1.2 billion positive inflow. Well, I don't know, maybe just some market manipulation. But if you take a look at this chart represents Bitcoin average dormancy. A dormancy means that Bitcoin has been dormant or Bitcoin has not been moved for a long period of time. And as we can see that in the past week or so, Bitcoin dormancy literally skyrocketed. It means that somebody has been selling old Bitcoin. And right now, dormancy is slightly lower than it was back in 2019. Back in 2019, we had a huge spike that was an all-time high. And right now, we are just behind that level. So what the hell has been selling old Bitcoin? And of course, we know that answer. Of course, Grayscale has been selling. This is quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. We just need to eliminate Grayscale maybe in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, and the selling pressure will be out of the picture. Moving on to Plan B. Plan B states his favorite Bitcoin models. My two favorite Bitcoin models, 2019 stock to flow model prediction, 2022 market cycle model detection. Yes, in these colorful colors, in the rainbow colors, we have market cycle model, which means we are currently in this bluish color. Reddish color will follow, a reddish color will represent bull market. Reddish color will start after the next Bitcoin halving that will take place in April, which is just 2.5 months away, which is indeed quite bullish. And of course, 2019 stock to flow predicts $500,000 as an average price for the next cycle, which is quite huge. Honestly, I do not think we're going to reach $500,000 as an average price. Maybe 200, max 300, but let's see what's going to happen. Okay, lastly, here's another cool chart that represents where we are currently at. Right now, we still, yes, as I indicated earlier, we are 2.5 months away until the next Bitcoin halving. And just take a look what happens after each Bitcoin halving. BTC tends to skyrocket by quite a lot. So once again, guys, prepare, continue stacking sats because this year and 2025 will be quite wild. And lastly, let's take a look at this quick video where Mark Yusko explains what he thinks is going to happen to BTC in 2024 as well as 2025. Let's take a look.
The boomers are finally coming to Bitcoin, meaning that now, of course, a lot of traditional investors are going to have access to Bitcoin. And in case some boomer is watching our show right now, can you maybe say why should he include Bitcoin in their retirement account?
You know, I've been talking about my hashtag #GetOffZero for a long time, right? I coined that phrase, I think, back in 2015 or 16, and been talking about it ever since. Zero exposure to Bitcoin is the wrong number. Now, I'm not saying you should put 100% of your assets there, but zero is the wrong number. Well, why do I say that? Look, Bitcoin is the greatest diversifying asset we've ever seen. And I've lived through all of them, right? This means I'm old. So I've seen, back when times when people only bought bonds in their portfolio, they didn't own stocks because they were too risky. And then they found out that if you add stocks to a bond portfolio, the risk actually goes down because they're uncorrelated. And then you added things like real estate, hedge funds, and venture capital and private equity. Every time you add a risky asset to a portfolio that's uncorrelated with the other assets, your portfolio gets more efficient. You get more return per unit of risk. Dr. Markowitz won the Nobel Prize for that. Pretty big deal. Well, Bitcoin, over its 15-year life, is 0.0 correlated to bonds and 0.15 correlated to stocks. It's the least correlated asset of any asset. Stocks and bonds are 0.3 correlated for reference. So when you add it to a portfolio, your return goes up, your risk goes down. It happens to be the best performing asset in 12 of the last 15 years. Of the 15 years it's been around. In fact, BlackRock actually put out a chart today showing that it's been the best performing asset in 12 of its 15 years of existence.
I was looking at our last conversation 6 months ago when you were actually predicting the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF coming sometimes in Q3, Q4 2023. So you were very close. You said that the Bitcoin fair value was around 55,000, and you were saying that Bitcoin would reach its fair value more or less when we're going to see the halving, and then we're going to have this big upside move. You were saying that it would reach about $150,000. That was your prediction for like the top of this cycle. Would you correct this prediction of yours that you made 6 months ago? Right now, what would you correct or adjust?
No, I'll double up on it in the sense that I still think fair value of the network today is somewhere in the low 50s, and we're going to creep toward that number by the halving. Now, I think that gets accelerated by the approval of the ETF. Now, we're going to have some nonsense of the future selling and some front running and day trading, and so there'll be some volatility, but I think between now and the halving, we definitely get into the 50s, and whether we get to the all-time high, I don't know. But on the halving, what happens is the fair value basically has to adjust upwards, or otherwise the miners don't make enough to stay in business. And what we've seen in every past halving is the fair value basically double. So that would take us from 50 to 100, to use round numbers. And then you get into crypto fall, which starts in June. And that year following the halving, you get the FOMO and the momentum and the leverage and the craziness. I think that's going to be less this time, right? Normally it's about 2.3, 2.5 times fair value. So if fair value is 100, that would take us to 230, 250. I don't think we get there, right? I think it's probably a 1.5-ish move this time because there won't be as much liquidity and won't be as much leverage. Now, is that too conservative? Probably. Kathy Wood on this morning saying, "Oh no, it'd be 600,000." Look, of course she's going to say that. She's trying to sell her product. But I actually think she probably believes, at least a little bit, that that's possible. Do I think we'll see 500, 600,000? Sure. By the end of this year, by the end of next year, probably not. But I'm pretty confident that we'll see, 6-digit Bitcoin in 2024, and the rest of the year will be a lot of fun.
Mark Yuska gives advice to boomers to buy Bitcoin because yes, they are quite old and they need some protection. And additionally, he believes BTC may end up by the end of this year or possibly mid-2025 above like $150,000, $170,000. Can't reach 500k according to Cathy Wood. Well, he's a bit skeptical, so am I, but look, if 500k happens, I would be very delighted. But even 150k, it is nice, but it is a bit disappointing. Honestly, I would like to see like $300,000. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below, subscribe and like this video.